Right, here we go. This might be uploaded as a second part video, just from the point of view I've had to use the app to use the meat probe. So I'll obviously I think the next time I do this I'll borrow my wife's phone. I use her camera. That's obviously the Typhur Sync 1 receiver. Inside of here now, that is now preheated. So I'm just using my Joseph & Joseph expandable Trivets, foldable Trivets. Because obviously I'm handling meat, I'm just going to basically use a set of tongs on this occasion. These things weigh an absolute ton. As you can hear, a nice sizzle. So, nice sizzle there. I've just given them a little bit of space there. And then that's going to go back in the Typhur. So as you can see, the Typhur is set at 230, and it reckons it's going to take 10 minutes. So I've just shut the drawer, and that will start to cook the steaks while they're in the Typhur dome. As you can see, the temperature inside of there is getting rapidly up to temperature. What I've done is I've set so that's measuring the ambient temperature, and it's looking for the target cooking. So I'm just going to wait and see what happens now. As I say, I've got everything set up on the app, and hopefully this will give us an indication of when it reaches 57. I think it'll either come up on the app, or I might have to, as I say, do a separate video. This is all live learning. This is the first time I've cooked steak. What is nice is there's a nice sizzle I can hear coming from the air fryer. As I said yesterday, this is a very quiet air fryer when you're comparing it to anything else I've used, especially the Ninja dual basket. So we'll just see how this comes out. After it comes out the air fryer, I'm going to transfer it, as I said, to a fan oven that I've got on 80 degrees, and I'm just going to let it rest in the oven, and then from that I'm going to put in my cooking grid, which, as I showed yesterday, is supplied with the Typhur Dome 2, and then I'm going to put in some chips to cook. See you in the next shortly. I just can't help myself. Steak's been cooking now for 5 minutes. Just going to open it up. Yeah. Just see how it's going. Yeah, it does look as if it's cooking the steak quite nicely. I don't know whether I'm going to have to give it a turn, but we'll see. I'm just going to try not give it a turn. As you can see, I'm now up to 38 degrees on the inside of the steak. It should be cooked at about 57. That's what it recommends on the probe. What's nice about the Typhur app is it's got suggestions as well, and you can pre-program. So if you start to think, oh, well, that doesn't do it how I like it, you can actually pre-program the pre-settings as well. Just to let you know, guys, I've also got my cutting board here ready for once the steaks have actually rested. I'm not going to cut the steaks straight from the air fryer. I'm going to let it rest. Something that I didn't mention in the first video is that the meat, the steak from the butcher, I did let that stay at room temperature for 2 hours before I actually cooked it. I just think that gives a better result, and when you do rest it, you should end up with very tender, succulent, and one of my favourite words and my most hated word by the kids is you'll end up with a moist steak. So once I'm cutting, I'm going to use this meat board from Joseph and Joseph. I do like, my wife is obsessed with Joseph and Joseph, but I understand why. This has got a slight angle, so any meat juices go at the back. It's got these quite sharp little, looks like whatever the material's made of the board, prongs to hold on to the meat, and then we'll give it a slice and we'll see what it's like inside. But as I say, we're going to rest the meat, I would say, for at least 10 minutes or to when the air fryer, I'll give it a bit of a clean. I'm going to put the cooking grid in, and we'll see how it does the, as I say, the chunky chips from Aldi, which are my favourite ones. I think they're called Select. So we'll give that a go. So apparently, according to this, we've got 3 minutes left. We're now up to 48.5, so not long left to cook now. And then I'm going to just transfer them into the oven, give the fryer clean, and then we'll be on to the chunky chip part of the meal. Bye for now. So while I was just getting my Scoville tray ready to transfer into the oven, these are the Scoville 6 times non-stick. I find these baking trays really good. You'll know that there's an alarm there, so I think that is telling me to remove. It says cooking remove, so I'm now going to remove the steaks. There you go. So that's the steaks coming out. Sorry, I'm going to get a new set of tongs because we've now got cooked meat. Nearly made a mistake, like some of the pro chefs when you're watching them on TV channels, touching raw meat with hands and then touching cooked meat. So I'm just going to give that a turn over, and I'm going to give that, just to give it a bit more of a sear, I'm just going to give that a couple more minutes in the Typhur. It does say that there's 2 minutes left on the Typhur, so I'm just going to give it that couple of minutes more. So we'll next part of the video, as I say, we'll see the steaks coming out from the oven. I'll transfer them to the Joseph and Joseph cutting board, and we'll cut into them and see how the steaks are done. Bye for now. We have it, ladies and gentlemen. It is now finished, come to the end. It's made a nice little audible beep. I'm very happy with this side because obviously it's got a nice char on there. We're now just going to transfer them over into the Scoville. Put those in the oven to rest. I'm going to give this pan a clean and then get my chips on. So stay tuned and we'll see once the steaks are rested. We'll give them a cut open and we'll see how it is inside. This is moving on to the cooking of the chunky chips, what I call steak fry chips. So I've put air fry. I'm just going to drop the raise the temperature up to 200. And these can cook from anywhere between 12 and 20 minutes, but what I'm going to do is just basically keep a good eye on them. So I'm going to press start, see if it needs to do any preheat. Now it's gone straight into cooking mode, so I'm just going to get the chips now and put them in the pan. So let's put the cooking grid back in, and now this is going to go into the Typhur 2 dome, and we're going to press play. As I say, I'm just going to check every couple of minutes just to see how they're doing, because as I've said before, and I keep saying that, I just want to see how they're getting on. But the chips should be great because you've got top heat and bottom heat, so we'll keep monitoring. Bye for now. So I'm just going to open this drawer now and see how the chips are doing. I cannot believe it, after I think that's only 3 or 4 minutes, they're virtually looking cooked. I'm going to separate those two that are stuck together, but after that we'll keep monitoring it and see how these chips do. Ladies and gentlemen, the time says 7 minutes, but I'm looking at the chips and I would say they were cooked. My daughter's just put a request in for cheesy chips, so I'm going to transfer these into a bowl, put some cheese over them and shot them in the microwave. So I'm just going to leave these in the air fryer, switch the air fryer off, and then we'll have a look at the steak. Right, here we are. We've got the steaks out of the oven now. These should be nicely rested. Just going to transfer them into the board. This is something I learned from a chef. I'm just give there a touch just to feel how it feels, and it does feel medium to medium rare. You can tell by the texture. So I've just given my hands a good old clean there on the cloth that I had by. So I'm just going to cut this. I'm operating on one hand, obviously, on the camera, so I'm going to slice it and we'll have a look inside. If we look there at temperature inside that steak, target was 57, it's now 56.4. So I think that's a nice medium rare. Bear in mind this was dry aged steak, so it's not going to look how it normally looks, where you sort of get the perfect line, but I'm quite happy with that. And yeah, this has been the Wood Food Guide using the Typhur Dome 2, seeing if you can cook steak, and I'll give you a report in the next video of how I felt the steak was. And there's our chips, beautifully cooked. So please like and subscribe, share and tell others. So have a great week, and hopefully we'll catch you in the next vlog next week. Have a good evening.